Hello, my beautiful buds. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Sprouts with Joy. My name is Joy, if we haven't met before. So this week, I definitely have a lot of plant chores that need to get done. I'm a little bit behind, but I figured I could take you guys along with me for the ride. I think the first thing that I need to do is repot my Philodendron brandtianum, and I want to put her on a moss pole, and I would like to actually make my own custom moss pole. I've never done that before. I don't have very many of my plants on moss poles. I think it's just my Monstera Peru and one of my Monstera Adansonii. That one is on a coco coir pole, but I didn't make either of them myself. So I'm really excited to get another plant to climb, and I think that my Philodendron brandtianum would really enjoy that. So I'll repot her and make a little pole for her. I think I'm just gonna do it in, the wild fern style. It's kind of what I like to call it, because I'm pretty sure she's the one that first put this way of making moss poles out there. So we can start with that. I'll take you along with the rest of my week as it goes on. So let's just get into the video. I am currently on my kitchen floor. So normally I would do anything that makes a bit of a mess just in the basement, but it's not really the ideal spot for filming because it's kind of dark and depressing and not that cute down there. I have filmed there before, so if you're familiar with my channel, you may have stumbled across videos where I filmed in the basement before, but I'm not in the mood to do that today. So kitchen floor it is, and I'll just clean up the mess and it'll be like it never happened. All right, so hopefully I can get a pretty decent angle. I'm gonna start off with making the sphagnum moss pole. Now I'm not entirely sure how large I want it to be. I'm just gonna kind of curl it around to get an idea. I might make it pretty tall and like skinnier, just because I don't know if this is the wise thing to do per se, but I'd rather not have to repot this again super quickly, if at all possible. And hopefully I don't screw this up. I feel like it's not that complicated, but again, I've actually never done this before, so this is kind of a fun new experience that we can all do together. I'm trying to get this to sit still, goodness. By the way, I completely forget what this mesh stuff is called, but I'll try to find it and link it down below. I'm just completely blanking right now. Like, I wish I could tell you. People are probably screaming at me in the comments. All right, let's just get that over there. Okay, so then I've got some zip ties that I will secure the moss pole with. Do I need to rip? I can just rip that, that's good. I don't need to cut it, wait, or do I? Oh gosh, I'd rather just cut these. Hopefully I have enough moss, but if there's not enough here, I'll just get some more from the basement. I have some spare moss, actually. All right, so let's just get to building here. I'm gonna try to make it even, but again, I don't really know what I'm doing. Oh, I'm realizing that you probably can't really see what I'm doing. There we go. I've seen people do this, but like, it's one thing to watch, so it's a whole other thing to actually do it yourself. Sweet boy. Oh, I got some moss in your fur, sorry. My cats are very curious about what I'm doing all the time. I'm definitely making a bit of a mess, but messes can be cleaned. If having a toddler has taught me anything, it's that I've had to let go a lot. Like, I like to be a very clean person. Like, having a child that makes a mess everywhere she goes, like, be it, while she's eating or just playing. And like, I also want her to be able to explore and feel free to explore. Like, I don't want her to ever feel like she can't discover things or like feel nervous about exploring because she'll get in trouble. I try to let her just make her messes because she's only one. So like, she's gonna make messes. But I do have to kind of let go of that like inner desire to have everything clean at all times. I'm gonna try to zip tie this starting in the middle. That might not be a good idea, but maybe it is. It seems like it would be a good idea in theory. So let's just do that. All right, so that's the first one. Do I not know how to zip tie? I literally just almost did that the wrong direction. I promise I was a straight A student, but honestly, like I was good at school, but like your girl doesn't have that much common sense, unfortunately. I've actually been really procrastinating this. Hi, hun. I felt like it was gonna be really annoying, but so far I actually find this really relaxing. So here's the moss pole up close. It's not the most graceful thing in the world, but I think that it will do. I'm kind of proud of it for my first one that I've made with my own 2 hands. Now, hopefully this moss pole is not too big for this pot, but I think it'll be okay. And this is a very heavy ceramic pot that I got from Lowe's. I thought it was pretty cute. I figured it would suit the Philodendron brandtianum well. So without further ado, let's get this thing potted. So I've heard that Philodendron brandies can be kind of finicky. So I'm gonna do my best to be really gentle with these roots. Although you can tell there are some roots coming out the bottom, so she definitely needs a repot most likely. Especially since it's winter time too. I'm gonna try to not mess with the roots too much. I usually like to massage it out a little bit, and I might have to with the moss pole, but let's see what we can get away with, you know? All right. I mean, not too terribly root bound, but like definitely has some strong roots and could handle a bigger pot, I think. I'm gonna try to not make a ridiculous mess. Ooh. Watch me just tip this entire bag over. Or honestly, more accurately, my cats will probably tip the entire bag over. This is the most awkward thing ever. Like, what am I doing? Okay, now the trick is gonna be fitting everything together. Okay. I obviously want to make sure this plant will climb, so trying to arrange her so that it's easier for her to do so. I think that'll work. Let's fill her up. And I'm hoping that this moss pole doesn't just tip over. I guess worst case scenario, I could just trim the top off, but that would be kind of unfortunate. I'm getting dirt all over my cardigan. I suppose I could just roll my sleeves up, but now I've got a hand that's trapped by this moss pole. So I might be able to get a couple vines on here, but it is absolutely not going to be the entire plant. I don't think I can fit everything. Okay, so far, not horrible. I'll just have to kind of let the moss pole rest up against the wall or something. Okay, so I think there we have it. I'm gonna secure these vines with this plant Velcro right here. I'm gonna try to make an appropriate size. I'm gonna try to be really, really gentle. I don't wanna harm the stems, but just enough to kind of pull her in, give her a little hug, let her know she's safe here and can climb her heart's content. All right, I secured her pretty loosely here, but I'm gonna go ahead and water her, and over time, she'll realize that there's something available for her to climb, and hopefully she'll kind of flip around and start going for it. So, all right, well, I kind of loosely secured her. As she grows, I'll just kind of continue adjusting that. And I'm gonna go ahead and give her a nice little drink and place her where I want her to go. So now I'm just gonna give her a nice little drink, but she's so pretty. Hello, it is the next day, and I've got some plants that need to get watered, so I figured I would take you along with me to get that done. But can I just say that it's like 5 p.m. and I absolutely loathe how dark it's been getting lately. I know the winter solstice is coming and the days will start getting longer again soon. It's already killing me how absolutely dark it is. Yeah, it's taking a toll on me. I can tell. I just feel gross. Let's maybe try to cheer ourselves up just by watering, and I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so let's see here. I guess we'll start with my micans and move along. My neon pothos has a tendency to get so floppy when he needs it to be watered. It's actually kind of comical. So if you ever needed a tip on how to know when to water your pothos, I mean, I usually like to do it before this point, but if you're in doubt, this floppiness will tell you. Just as kind of a hot tip, I do like to kind of hose the leaves down and check for pests when I water, just because that's kind of a built-in intimate time with your plants, and you can kind of get up close and personal, especially if they're typically hanging plants, which all of these guys are, so they're not always necessarily at eye level. All right, well, I'm all done watering these little guys. And honestly, like, am I the only one that loves it when all my plants are just bunched together like this after watering? Like, it feels like a family photo. Like, hi. It's fun to have them all in one spot. The kitchen looks so jungly, and like normally I try to spread them out so that their leaves aren't touching too much just for the sake of avoiding pests. But like, look, I just love it when they're all close together. If I could just live and not have to use my house as a house, I think it'd just be so fun to have every shelf filled with plants. But that is not practical, nor would it be healthy. It would probably be a hoarding situation in that case. But I still love it. Like, All right, so I'm done with watering and my child is still napping. So I figured I would, the second I start filming, she wakes up. I just heard her. I was planning on propagating a few plants as kind of like the final part of this video, just because I feel like they're ready and it would be fun. And I'd recently emptied out my prop box and potted a bunch of propagations, so I'm due for more. But okay, my husband just got home. Maybe I can get him to watch her for like 2 minutes while I do these propagations really fast with you. Give me a second. Okay, so I brought a few plants downstairs to propagate. And then this one was over by the window. My Hoya australis Lisa, my Scindapsus Trubii Moonlight, and Scindapsus Silvery Ann. There might be one more plant I want to propagate, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, with my Hoya australis Lisa, actually, it's been dropping leaves. Like it dropped several leaves, and I don't know if that's because it was still acclimating to my home and figuring itself out, or they looked a little bit funky. Like it started off like this. It's weird. I'm not as familiar with Hoya, so it was really weird. And I really don't think that it could be root rot. I think it may have been cold damage because it is right by the window and it got really cold recently and I don't think it liked that. So I'm thinking I might propagate, maybe chop right here just to make sure I have this plant still. It'll be kind of sad because I don't want to chop it, but I want to just have at least a little safety measure in place just in case this plant goes south. And then my Scindapsus Trubii Moonlight, I've been wanting to propagate for a long time. It's been growing vigorously, honestly. So I just want to take a propagation just so I can add it in to the pot later, potentially, or give it away or something. I think it's just time. And then my Silvery Ann is kind of the same story. I've been putting off propagating it. But guys, okay, get this. Oh, don't mind that because I haven't finished taking down the decorations for my daughter's first birthday, so don't mind that. I have a neighbor that like just moved in down the street, and she's a plant person. She has plants. Like I help them to move in and they have plants. She has like this beautiful monstera and like a whole bunch of plants. And they moved here from several states away, so she had to get rid of like half of her collection. So I was thinking about chopping a few things and giving her some propagations to kind of like kickstart her collection again. So I don't know. When I was looking, I didn't see any Scindapsus, so I thought it might be, maybe she doesn't like Scindapsus, but I don't know. I just figured that might be nice to give her a couple cuttings. I hope that you enjoyed spending a little bit of time with me doing these plant chores. I know I did. I always find it pretty motivating to watch other people work on the planty things that they need to get done, and it's always just, it's fun. It's a fun hobby. It's all part of keeping plants. So if you did enjoy, please feel free to like and subscribe, but of course there's no pressure to do so. So with that being said, I hope that you have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye-bye.